Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today we will dive deep into the latest drama and heartfelt moments from the bold and the beautiful as we explore the spoilers for Tuesday, May 20th. Get ready for an emotional roller coaster as Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan take monumental steps toward reconciliation, while Carter Walton finds himself entangled in a steamy new dynamic with Daphne Rose. Beyond these headline-grabbing developments, we'll uncover hidden layers of tension, unspoken desires, and the ripple effects of life-altering revelations that promise to shake up the Forrester and Logan families. So, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's unpack all the juicy details and intricate storylines awaiting us in this captivating episode. First, let's turn our attention to the long-standing rivalry between Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan, which appears to be reaching a surprising turning point. For years, these two fierce women have battled over business, family, and personal loyalties at Forrester Creations, their animosity fueling endless drama. However, Tuesday's episode hints at a seismic shift as they finally lay down their swords and embrace a tentative peace. This isn't just a casual agreement to coexist. It's a heartfelt conversation that promises to mend old wounds and rewrite their dynamic. Picture this: Steffy, with her signature blend of strength and vulnerability, extends an olive branch, while Hope, ever the optimist, seizes the chance to rebuild bridges. Their meeting, set against the backdrop of Forrester Creations' sleek offices, is more than a truce, it's a symbolic moment of unity. New details suggest they'll even share a quiet laugh over past misunderstandings, reminiscing about their shared history as they pledge to support each other moving forward. This reconciliation isn't just personal, it marks Hope's potential return to the fashion empire, with whispers of her iconic line, "Hope for the future," roaring back to life. But will this harmony last, or is it merely the calm before another storm? As Steffy and Hope carve out a new path, the emotional undercurrents of this truce are amplified by Liam Spencer's heartbreaking situation. Liam, who has been a pivotal figure in both women's lives, is grappling with a devastating terminal diagnosis, a plot twist that has sent shockwaves through Los Angeles. Desperate to leave a legacy of peace, Liam pours his heart out, urging Hope and Steffy to set aside their differences for good. His plea is raw and poignant, a man racing against time to ensure the women he loves find common ground. In a touching new scene, we'll see Liam confide in Finn, Steffy's devoted husband, entrusting him with the mission to solidify this fragile alliance if Liam himself can't see it through. Imagine the weight of this moment: Liam, pale and weary, gripping Finn's hand as he extracts a solemn promise under the dim lights of a quiet hospital room. This isn't just about reconciliation. It's about Liam's final wish, a desperate bid to heal the fractures in his extended family. The spoilers suggest that this emotional catalyst has already nudged Steffy and Hope closer, but Liam's fading strength adds a layer of urgency and melancholy to their newfound bond. Meanwhile, the temperature rises elsewhere as Carter Walton finds himself at a crossroads of heartbreak and temptation with the enigmatic Daphne Rose. Carter, known for his loyalty and quiet intensity, is reeling from overhearing Hope's longing for a future with Liam. This revelation cuts deep, especially after Carter risked everything: his career, his reputation, and his heart during the recent takeover chaos to stand by Hope's side. Feeling betrayed and discarded, Carter unloads his frustrations to Daphne in a moment of raw vulnerability. Picture them in a dimly lit loft, Carter pacing as he confesses how foolish he feels for believing in a future with Hope, while Daphne listens with a mix of empathy and barely concealed desire. The spoilers reveal that Daphne, who has long harbored feelings for Carter, seizes this emotional opening. She doesn't just offer comfort, she turns up the heat, drawing him into a passionate encounter that promises to be one of the steamiest scenes of the season. Fresh details hint at a sultry backdrop: think scattered rose petals and flickering candles as Daphne, with her captivating charm, pulls Carter into a moment of reckless abandon at her luxurious penthouse. Will this fiery fling be a fleeting escape or the start of something deeper? On the flip side, Carter's dalliance with Daphne might complicate his unresolved feelings for Hope, who seems to be inching toward a reunion with him despite her wavering heart. Hope's journey in this episode is a tangled web of emotion, torn between her lingering connection with Liam and the stability Carter once offered. After Liam's push for peace between her and Steffy, Hope reflects on her choices, realizing she may have taken Carter's unwavering support for granted. A newly imagined scene shows Hope alone in her design studio, sketching absent-mindedly as she wrestles with guilt over how she's treated Carter, her pencil pausing as memories of their tender moments flood back. Yet, before she can act on any impulse to reconnect with him, she must navigate the delicate aftermath of her truce with Steffy. The spoilers tease that Hope's return to Forrester Creations could reignite professional tensions, even as she contemplates a personal reconciliation with Carter. But with Daphne now in the picture, has Hope missed her chance? The ripple effects of these personal dramas extend to the broader Forrester and Logan families, stirring suspicion and curiosity. Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan, the patriarch and matriarch of this intertwined clan, are poised to react with a mix of skepticism and concern to Steffy and Hope's unexpected alliance. Imagine Ridge, with his furrowed brow, questioning Steffy in the boardroom about her sudden change of heart, wondering if this is a strategic move or genuine goodwill. Brooke, ever protective of Hope, might hover nearby, her maternal instincts on high alert as she probes whether this truce could jeopardize her daughter's hard-won place at Forrester. According to expanded spoilers, their reactions will unfold over a tense family dinner at the Forrester mansion, where sharp glances and pointed questions reveal lingering doubts about whether old rivalries can truly be buried. This scene, rich with unspoken history, underscores the fragility of the peace Steffy and Hope have brokered, hinting at potential conflicts just over the horizon. As we wrap up this deep dive into Tuesday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, it's clear that the stakes have never been higher. From Steffy and Hope's historic reconciliation to Carter's sizzling detour with Daphne, and Liam's heartbreaking mission to unite his loved ones, every storyline is charged with emotion, passion, and uncertainty. The promise of Hope's return to Forrester Creations adds a professional edge to personal resolutions, while Ridge and Brooke's wary responses remind us that family dynamics are never simple in this world of glamour and intrigue. Next, we will uncover the raw emotions and heart-wrenching developments in the latest The Bold and the Beautiful storyline as relationships are tested and devastating truths surface. In this gripping episode, we witness Hope Logan's desperate plea to Liam Spencer for a reunited future, Carter Walton grappling with unspoken pain, and Steffy Forrester navigating the crushing weight of Liam's terminal illness alongside her family. Beyond these pivotal moments, we'll explore the undercurrents of betrayal, longing, and the struggle to honor a dying man's wishes. With new layers added to each scene, prepare for an in-depth look at the tangled web of love, loss, and secrets that continues to define life in Los Angeles. Let's dive into the drama and heartache that await us. Starting at Brooke's cozy yet tension-filled home, the air is thick with emotion as Hope Logan lays her heart bare to Liam Spencer. Her voice trembles with a mix of hope and desperation as she confesses she can't bear another moment apart, envisioning a shared future filled with love. "I'll never stop loving you," she whispers through tears, collapsing into Liam's arms as sobs rack her body. The intimacy of this moment, set against the warm glow of the living room with family photos lining the walls, underscores the depth of their bond. But unbeknownst to them, Carter Walton stands at the doorway, a silent witness to this soul-bearing exchange. His face contorts in silent agony, eyes glistening with unshed tears as the reality of Hope's choice shatters any lingering dreams he held. A new detail reveals Carter clutching the doorframe for support, his knuckles whitening as he fights the urge to interrupt, torn between walking away and confronting the painful truth. This scene isn't just a rejection. It's a profound blow to Carter's spirit, leaving us to wonder if he'll ever recover from this heartbreak. Meanwhile, over at Forrester Creations' bustling design office, a different kind of storm brews as Daphne Rose reflects on her earlier caution to Carter about guarding his heart against hope's inevitable sway. As she sits at her desk, surrounded by fabric swatches and mood boards, her mind replays that warning, a flicker of frustration crossing her face at Carter's apparent inability to heed it. Her reverie is interrupted by Brooke Logan's unexpected entrance, her tone firm yet tinged with concern as she broaches the delicate topic of hope and Carter's unresolved feelings. Brooke, ever the protective mother, issues a subtle yet pointed admonition that no outside force or person should dare interfere with the love that still simmers between the two. A newly crafted moment shows Daphne's lips curling into a sly smirk, her eyes narrowing as she toys with a pencil, clearly undeterred by Brooke's words. This exchange hints at Daphne's unspoken intentions, perhaps a plan to wedge herself into Carter's life now that he's vulnerable. Will her quiet defiance spark a new rivalry, or is she merely biding her time? Across town at the serene Cliff House, a somber atmosphere envelopes Steffy Forrester as she grapples with the crushing news of Liam's impending death, surrounded by the unwavering support of her family. Taylor Hayes, her mother, sits close, her voice soft yet resolute as she assures Steffy they'll face this tragedy together, as a united front. Finn, Steffy's steadfast husband, echoes this sentiment, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder as he reminds her she's never alone in this storm. Steffy, her eyes red-rimmed from tears, voices her deep concern for Liam, insisting he must be enveloped by love in his final days and urging him to share his diagnosis with those closest to him. A poignant new element shows Steffy clutching a childhood photo of her and Liam, tracing his smile with a trembling finger as she questions whether he has enough time left to open up. Finn, drawing from his experience as a doctor, shares a haunting insight about patients who choose solitude in their final moments, leaving families shattered by betrayal. This conversation, unfolding near the Cliff House's expansive windows with the ocean's restless waves as a backdrop, amplifies the weight of Liam's secret and the urgent need for connection. The discussion at the Cliff House deepens as Steffy wrestles with her decision to inform Hope of Liam's condition, seeking validation from Taylor. Her mother, with a wisdom born of experience, acknowledges the delicate balance between privacy and necessity, affirming that Hope deserved to know the truth. Finn nods in agreement, his quiet strength bolstering Steffy as she expresses gratitude for her family's guidance. However, a firm boundary is drawn beyond Hope. Liam's wish for secrecy must be honored, no matter how heavy it weighs on them. A fresh detail paints Steffy pacing near the fireplace, her hands wringing as she murmurs about respecting Liam's choices, even as her heart aches to shout his struggle from the rooftops. This moment of restraint highlights the internal conflict tearing at her, wanting to rally support for Liam while safeguarding his dignity. How long can this secret hold before it fractures under pressure? Steffy's grief spills over as she reflects on the complex history she shares with Liam, a tapestry of highs and lows that finally settled into a peaceful friendship and successful co-parenting. Her voice cracks as she laments the unfairness of it all, the reality that their daughters will grow up without their father cutting deeper than any past rivalry. Taylor interjects with a gentle reminder of Liam's widespread love and the legacy he leaves in his children, but Steffy's sorrow morphs into quiet anger. She envisions a future Liam deserved growing old, finding new love, watching milestones with their girls now cruelly snatched away. An imagined scene shows Steffy stepping onto the balcony alone, the cool sea breeze mingling with her tears as she whispers to the horizon, "You should have had more time." This raw expression of loss, coupled with her unresolved emotions, paints a vivid picture of a woman caught between mourning and rage, grappling with a reality she can't change. Will this pain drive her to defy Liam's wishes, or will it bind her closer to hope and shared grief? As we close this deep exploration of the latest The Bold and the Beautiful episode, the emotional stakes couldn't be higher. From Hope's tearful plea to Liam and Carter's silent heartbreak at Brooke's place, to Daphne's scheming smirk at Forrester Creations and the profound sorrow at the Cliff House, every corner of this story pulses with intensity. Steffy's struggle to honor Liam's secrecy while battling her own grief adds a layer of complexity to an already devastating diagnosis, while the unspoken tensions between Brooke and Daphne foreshadow potential conflicts on the horizon. These interwoven narratives of love, loss, and longing remind us why this soap opera continues to captivate. Next, we will delve into the heart-wrenching and emotionally charged developments from the latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. This installment brings us raw confessions, shattered hopes, and the desperate search for peace amidst life's cruelest twists. At Brooke's place, Hope Logan and Liam Spencer share a bittersweet moment as they confront his limited time, while Carter Walton grapples with devastating rejection, finding solace in Daphne Rose's unexpected support. Meanwhile, simmering tensions and unspoken desires ripple through Forrester Creations, setting the stage for profound changes. With new details woven into each scene, join us as we explore the depth of love, regret, and resilience in this captivating chapter of drama. Let's dive into every tearful revelation and surprising turn. First, we find ourselves at Brooke's warmly lit home, where an intimate and sorrowful exchange unfolds between Hope Logan and Liam Spencer. Hope, her eyes searching Liam's for reassurance, gently asks if he regrets Steffy revealing his terminal condition to her. Liam, with a voice heavy with emotion, admits he doesn't mind her knowing he only wishes they'd had more time before her gaze shifted to one of pity. Hope, determined to make every second count, speaks of treasuring their fleeting moments, her hands trembling as she reaches for his. Set against the backdrop of a cozy living room adorned with family mementos, this scene captures the urgency of their bond. Liam, reflecting on life's fragility, urges Hope to seize happiness, to find someone who can offer her a lifetime of love, something he knows he can no longer provide. A newly imagined detail shows Liam tracing an old photograph of them on the coffee table, a wistful smile flickering as he encourages Hope to mend things with Carter Walton, promising that forgiveness will pave the way to joy. His selflessness shines through as he admits his fear but finds solace in focusing on others' happiness, a coping mechanism to ease his own turmoil. This poignant moment showcases Liam's strength, even as Hope insists he prioritize himself, her admiration evident in her tearful declaration of his incredible spirit. Their conversation deepens as Liam confronts the ghosts of their past, expressing regret for the pain he inflicted during their tumultuous history. Hope, ever forgiving, brushes aside old wounds, insisting they'd both hurt each other over time. Together, they reminisce about their first meeting, a simpler era when life held endless promise, captured in a new scene where they recall a sunlit picnic by the beach, laughter echoing in their memories. Liam laments how that younger version of himself couldn't fathom the suffering he'd cause, while Hope counters that their shared pain shaped who they are. Noticing the way her eyes light up when speaking of Carter mirroring how she once looked at him, Liam pushes her to act on her lingering feelings. Despite Hope's frustration over Carter's past betrayal, Liam dismisses the specifics as irrelevant, urging her to let go of resentment before time slips away. An added touch shows Liam clasping her hands tightly, his urgency palpable as he warns that love can't wait. This heartfelt plea raises the question: will Hope heed his advice, or has too much damage been done? Simultaneously, at the sleek offices of Forrester Creations, a tense encounter brews as Daphne Rose faces Brooke Logan, who staunchly defends her daughter Hope's romantic interests. Daphne, with a polite yet guarded demeanor, acknowledges Brooke's protective stance, her tone laced with subtle defiance as she nods from behind a desk cluttered with design sketches. Brooke, undeterred, makes her position clear, asserting her belief that Carter remains the ideal match for Hope, encouraging him not to abandon hope as she exits with a determined stride. Left alone, Daphne's expression shifts to concern when Carter bursts in, his face a storm of emotion, demanding a private word. Sensing his distress, Daphne presses him to open up, her voice soft yet insistent. Carter, pacing near a window overlooking the city, confesses his disillusionment, bitterness seeping through as he mutters, "It's always hope." A fresh detail reveals his clenched fists as he struggles to articulate the betrayal he feels, opting instead to flee the office, unable to stay in a space so tied to his pain. Daphne, refusing to let him isolate himself, insists on accompanying him, her resolve firm as they head to his loft. Will her presence offer the comfort he needs, or complicate his spiraling emotions? At Carter's modern loft, the atmosphere is heavy with unspoken pain as he and Daphne arrive, the silence of their journey hanging between them. Noticing his reticence, Daphne gently probes if something specific transpired with Hope, her concern evident as they settle onto a plush couch, the city lights twinkling through large windows. Carter, his voice raw, admits to a pattern of failed relationships, blaming himself as the common thread in every heartbreak. Daphne counters with fierce loyalty, insisting he's a good man yet to find his true match, arguing that past missteps don't define his worth. A newly crafted moment shows her placing a reassuring hand on his arm, her eyes reflecting genuine care as Carter softens, grateful for her belief in him. He reveals how deeply he trusted in a future with Hope, envisioning a light at the end of their turbulent tunnel, only to have that hope dashed. Until next time, keep watching for every emotional twist in the enthralling world of the bold and the beautiful.